Hello everyone, welcome back to Clementine Creative. My name is Clementine and I am back with another video tutorial. This week, let me just move my mic. Alright, so this week we have an actual tutorial where I do step by step more or less show you how to do something, and that something is detailing. Now this video was requested by someone on YouTube. I'm sorry I forgot your name, but I will post like the name on the screen so you will see it. I'll type it out. So first of all, thank you for suggesting this video. Thank you for asking for a specific type of video. If you ever want to see anything, please do not be afraid to suggest it. Just write it in the comment section below, and I'll get to it if I have time. More or less always open to new video suggestions. So what we have here is a painting of a character that you're gonna see later this week on Friday. Not sure when this video is going to be posted, but probably before Friday. So we have a video here, or an unfinished character. So this is basically how it looks like so far. And what we're going to do now is we're going to render this part out. There we go. So, oops, yeah, that's not going to work. There we go. So we're going to render out this part. This is basically all adding details, so we're going to show the entire process of rendering, and hopefully you'll learn something, and you'll be able to carry on with your painting, improve and make even better progress at your own paintings. Sorry for any air that is being blown into the microphone. I don't have a proper pop filter, so... and the one I created is a little bit messed up right now. I'll try to fix it as soon as possible, but without further ado, let's get into this video. Alright, so we have a shield here that we need to render out. So let me just go back to the line art. It's actually 11 and 12 p.m. so this is a pretty late recording, but doesn't matter. Alright, so what we have here is a shield that we need to render out, and we need to also render out this sleeve, and basically this arm we're not even going to render out because this is not that well visible in the corner, in the angle at which at which I drew this arm right here. Right, the hand would be somewhere in here, so we can't even see it properly. So step number one, I guess, is have a silhouette, something that you want to render. As you can see, a lot of people who don't have that much experience in digital painting, which, me included, in the past, I always thought that it's crazy how much detail is, professionals actually are able to capture. And I'm not talking about illustrators, I'm talking about professional concept artists. Now, because illustrators, there's going to be one main difference, which I'm going to point out, and it's very important that you remember it. The difference between what I'm doing here and what illustrators do is my work is a lot less clear. So when you're looking from afar, you see a lot of strokes, and that is okay. If you are a concept artist, you do not have to have the ability to render out photorealistic things, because it's about the idea, not about the artistic style. While you are capable, or you have your art part to be able to communicate ideas, you don't necessarily, or you don't at all, use your art part as your career. That is not your career. If you're an illustrator, that's when you want to practice on digital painting so you can make photorealistic stuff. If you're a concept artist, that is not that important. So the main difference is when you zoom in on my character, you can see that it's not actually that detailed. Look at that, like there's a line here. You zoom out far, it's not, that one is probably in there by accident. Let me just delete that one out so we don't forget about it later on. But there's weird lines in there, and I've always inspected work, and what I've learned through these 2 years of painting is that a lot of the stuff looks very clear from afar, but it's not that clear when you come up close. And that is okay if you're trying to be a concept artist. If you're trying to be an illustrator, this is already pretty good. because some people actually look for this kind of style. I personally like to see some brush strokes. Just think it makes for a better looking piece. So it's basically a part of my style. So it really comes down to your personal preference. Professionals, or at least the gaming studio, they don't really care that much about your rendering skills as long as you're able to present the idea clearly. So, as you can see from afar, it looks pretty clear. From up front, we can see it's very rough, and that's what we're going to be aiming for, even in this tutorial. So, step number one is have the the thing that you want to render out. Obviously, I guess step number two would be to now go into creating the shield on this particular piece. Now, remember, all of the things that I'm about to teach you apply to any kind of concept art or any kind of painting you're doing. Even if you're doing environment, detailing and painting and whatever, does not change. Subject to subject, it doesn't change. It's always the same. What changes is the subject. The techniques applied to it are pretty much the same. All right, so what I'm gonna do is first throw down a layer of the darkest color that I'm going to use for this element, right? This element being, I guess, the shield, right? So I'm just gonna draw that out. So this is all real time, no time lapse. I was just, basically this far into this character, and I thought, why not make the video now? Because I was in a dilemma when I should, film this step. But I thought now was a pretty good time to actually do it. So what I'm doing now is adding an extra layer of dark line here, which, if we zoom out, creates a illusion of a shadow. Alright, so we have the first little part. So we have this part now. Now we need to also do this part. Alright, not too hard. Let's just see the shape. Okay, that's the shape. It's going to be a little bit complicated in this angle. Yep. Alright, there we go. I'm sorry if I'm breathing in the microphone a lot. It's inevitable. It's not a professional micro. I mean, it's a €60 microphone, which I wanted something good, but I didn't want something too expensive when I started out. So, yeah. I mean, it's pretty good. It's the only reason why it's doing that is because I don't have a proper pop filter, but I'll make sure I get one, so we don't have this kind of thing happening. All right, so we have the shield in. Now we're just gonna adjust this part here. There we go. So that it looks like it is a shield. It has to be a bit raised atop from the clothing, so we have that sort of a layer feel to it. And now we can start rendering this piece out. Now we also want to take dark color, black, and we want to make the illusion of the shadow here. This is where it goes, and then we stop here because this part basically is his pectoral muscle and his boob basically, and the shield goes behind it. All right, or shoulder guard. So the next part is to add on light on top of that. All right, so a lot of, I guess, beginner painters, myself included, so everything I'm saying now is myself included. I always, let me just move my microphone. It's too close. When I'm working, it's too close. When I'm backing up, it's too far. Sorry, I'm adjusting it. It's crazy. So a lot of amateurs, amateurs, that's such a harsh word. A lot of people who start out, even, myself included, whatever I'm about to say is what I used to do as well. What we try to do is draw paint. Because most of us come from drawing traditionally, we try to draw paint, and it doesn't work like that. It's different than drawing. Painting is definitely different than drawing. And a lot of times we try to, draw the paint where, when I first heard for this term, which is not really a professional term, it's just basic. That's exactly what you're doing. But when I first heard of this, I didn't quite understand it. But now I definitely do. So here I'm just applying light, right? All right, so now we apply light here, and by applying light, you create surface. Remember, if you're not that good at, if you can't imagine it, if you're just really struggling with this, a good rule to remember is just make one side bright and the other side, the opposite side, black or dark, and that's the basic, or it could be a good starting point for digital painting. There's a lot more diversity than just light in the front and dark in the back, but it's a good point to start, and it's the basic of light, right? One side is lit up while the other is dark because of the shadow. But of course, then we have to account also the bounce light. But a lot of stuff like that is not really that important for concept artists. Again, a lot of the light that you're seeing now is actually, I like to call it presentation light, because a lot of the things are not in real life. They wouldn't be lit this way. Let's say, for example, this shoulder guard would not be lit this way. The reason why I'm lighting it this way is to bring it out, right? We want to present the design. Every time I create a digital painting, I'm not trying to make a painting for fun. I'm not trying to, show off my skills or whatever. Well, the point of it is to showcase the design. And, that's why I light it up certain places where even though the light wouldn't be there. And there's nothing wrong with that. Because when it's made in 3D, it's going to be done correctly, right? So what you're really trying to do here is get that artificial light in there and try to pop up things. And the shield is going to be a really good, or I keep calling it shield, the shoulder guard is going to be a really good example, because it's metal. Therefore we have to create, the surface has to look like it's metal. So that'll be something to look at, something interesting to look at. We'll also, we'll tackle a little bit of more detailing. I guess with metal, there's a certain type of detailing, strokes that you need to do to achieve the look. So we're going to be able to see that. Okay, so the shield is now basically more or less rendered it, right? More or less. We go back to see how it fits. It fits okay. Now we want to make it shine because it is metal, and make it a little bit used. So what do is take bright color, usually white, pure white, and we just have a thin stroke, and we just make uneven strokes, like a little bit jagged lines. I guess that's what it's called. Makes it look like it's damaged, and then on the corners where I personally think that the light would be the most visible, that's where we add a little bit more, like so, right? And then we want to create little lines like this. So a lot of people think that, and myself included, that detailing is drawing stuff out. Well, really, it's not so much drawing, it's just making scribbly lines, okay? I'll show you. We make scribbly lines here, scribbly lines here. We take this dark color, right, and we pull it through here and make a scribbly line. Sorry for that sound effect, but it's amazing sound effect of making scribbly lines. So yeah, we make a scribbly line. There we go. We have a crack in the shield. Take the light, because the light bounces off the crack right here, right at the end, where the thing kind of splits. And on my signature, the thing I like to say, it's little, just like little lines here, just to bring the piece out a little bit, adds more texture to it, and that's it, it's done. See that? Oopsie. Rendered. There we go. We just rendered this piece. Oopsie. There we go. This piece. Let me just unlock the layer. There we go. This piece. We rendered out. Rendered out? We rendered it out. The next part is the sleeve. So again, we're going to take the darkest color that we're going to have. So I'm going to take this grayish color here. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take this one here because it has a tint of yellow in there. And we're just going to color this entire thing out. The reason why I do a silhouette is just so much easier to to paint. You don't have to use the silhouette. You can paint any way. This is just my preferred way of doing it. Alright, so we color this arm in. And that's kind of where I'll have to now do the design. There we go. If you've been watching my line art, then you know what this piece is supposed to look like. The line art video, of course. Now I'm just adding a little bit of, I'm fixing the silhouette a little bit here and here on the right side. There we go. Alright. The next step that I need to do is draw in the green lines. There we go. So we just we lock the layer. So by locking the layer, we basically isolate the area that is colored in, and the color does not go anywhere else except here. So now what we do is just draw this. I'm sorry if I'm just so quiet. It's usually when I'm painting, if I'm not talking to someone, I'm quiet all the time. I don't talk to myself or anything like that. Whoopsie doopsie. There we go. Alright, we have that. Now we just have to spread them out. We have this one. So yeah, you know, this is a more time-consuming process, but if you enjoy it, then it's cool. If you don't enjoy it, it's not cool. But you know, digital painting to me was something that I wanted to learn that was the main thing I wanted to learn 2 years ago. Not designing. Designing was the last thing I wanted to learn. Reason why was because I just saw all those cool paintings and I was like, yeah, I want to do that, you know. And for my end project, you know, graduation project, I showcased some designs, and you know, I learned a lot through that design phase. And, you know, that design phase when I designed all those characters, I learned a lot about painting, and you know, just by doing, you'll unlock a lot of these secrets that professionals use. You know, myself included. I don't consider myself professional. And I think that a lot of people that are really good also don't consider themselves professionals. The only time where I will consider myself a professional will be when I will be able to fully live off of just doing this. You know, that's what a professional to me is. So, but a lot of these tricks is something that you'll learn not by watching videos, but by that, you know, not trying to say don't watch my videos, but mostly through trying. You know, even if you watch this video right now, if you won't do it at home, you probably won't pull anything out of this today. So be sure to practice today once you're done, or tomorrow, or whenever, once you're done watching this video. Alright, so again, we've done the whole basic thing. It looks like crap, right? It doesn't look like anything yet, but it will. It will very soon. Alright, so what do? We take the brightest color, or the color that we want to, I guess, uses the bright color, basically, and we apply it. There we go. We just apply it like that. Not that hard, right? There we go. And then we obviously want to blend in here. We create a shadow. Alright, so we want to take even brighter color, which is the same color, except I didn't use the full opacity there. There we go. And I make this little jagged lines that you know, add that extra texture to it, like we did before. So as you can see, painting details is really more. It's more of it's not drawing specific lines. It's just random scribbly lines, and that's what detailing is. Just adding on top of what you already have. You add some scribbly lines, and that's it. Because I'm sorry if this video is not as good as you hoped for. I'm not the best at making tutorials. To be honest, I'm not the best at doing it. I'm pretty sure there's other people, but I will do my very best to provide you with the content that you want to see. If you want to see tutorials, I'm really doing my best here to make this tutorial. I'm not trying to slack off or whatever. So yeah, here we go. And this little piece, or this part of the arm, is already rendered in. Now it doesn't look like anything yet, but it will soon. Now we just want to do the other part, and I'm gonna put it into time lapse. I'm gonna finish this because it's all gonna be pretty much the same. I'm just gonna leave one green stripe left, and then we'll do that in real time, and we'll also do this little thing here in real time. But right now I'm gonna kick it into time lapse, and I'll come back to do that in real time. So see you in a couple of seconds. There I am back. That was pretty quick for you. It took me only a couple of minutes. I don't know how many minutes it took me, but this is done. Now we only have the last green part here left. So we're just going to do this like I did before. We color it in. First I create a little section here. I just use normal horizontal, not horizontal, I guess, vertical lines, diagonal lines, however you want it, across my Wacom screen here, and I just basically just make the strokes to create light, and we obviously blend it down here till the end, not till the end, down here at the end. Alright, and now we go with the second pass, or second light, or highlighting, and we add in these little scribbly lines again to create some interesting texture. Again, I love seeing brushstrokes on my concept art. That's why I'm doing this. If you don't like this, you can use a soft brush like this one, and obviously just make everything super nice and polished. But I don't like that, so that's why I don't do that. I like seeing it, I don't like doing it. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some really dark green, like that one, and I'm just gonna pull it through the sections here where the colors meet, just to create a little feeling of depth in there, just like it's drawn on the concept art. There we go. Oh. So yeah, this is again time-consuming process, not that interesting. To see, I guess, to watch, maybe not that interesting. But no, I guess if you have to walk out with anything today while watching this video, is remember a lot of the detail is just scribbly lines. The more you learn about light, how light works, the more you will understand how details also work. So, don't worry about it. So there we go, we have that. The only thing we want now, of course, what I'm gonna also do later is you're gonna see something. But before we do that, we have to finish this little pattern here, which is the same as the one we have here. So we just want to color it all in gray, relatively dark gray. So we just do that. I'm pretty sure you can also hear the strokes of my pen hitting the screen of the Wacom tablet, so you know that this is real time. So yeah, there we go. Not trying to fool you here with some footage stolen from the internet. That would be do people do sometimes that, I think. Just take other people's stuff. Don't take other people's stuff. Alright. We add in light. This one is a bit tricky, but not too hard. Just don't worry about it. Just apply as you feel. It's very hard to mess up little spots like these. You can mess them up, but don't worry about it. If you practice, practice enough, you will definitely get it. So yeah, don't worry about it. Let's just throw in some color here. So this is all rough pass right now. Okay, now you want to blend in the ends a little bit. We want to make sure that we get some of that differential in depth, like in surface depth, you know. So here we go. And now we take some black, like this one right here, and we just add it here. It creates a certain effect that I really like, and that's why I'm doing this. Now we also want to throw some here for that extra shadow. I'm gonna throw some here. And some here. There we go. And we rendered out the arm. So now what I'm just gonna do is I'm going to select this part of the body right here. I'm gonna actually deselect that, but I'm gonna select this. Nope, I did it wrong here. Deselect this. We take a soft brush and we take the white color and we just apply a slight amount of white on top to create a feeling of depth. You might not see it, it's slightly, but it's definitely there. So yeah, there we go. You can also color or depth check by making a black and white layer. There you go. You know, you check if everything is nice in order. That's how it's supposed to look like. You know, if it's good in black and white, if it looks 3D in black and white, then it's probably good in color as well. So there we go. So that's it for this video. I hope it was helpful. I'm just gonna add a little bit of darkness down here, but otherwise that was the end. I hope this video helped you out. I know it was kind of short-ish, maybe. I don't know if it was very in-depth. I wouldn't say it was too in-depth, but again, I do hope it helped you out if it did. And if you want to see anything in particular, don't be afraid to message me. I'll be, you know, happy to do it. You know, happy to do the videos for you. But yeah, with that in mind, I hope you enjoyed the video like I said before. Thanks for watching. I guess I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And I've been quite disappointed. I feel like I could be doing so much more, but I just don't. So, you know, it is a bit frustrating when you think